Hi scholars, happy Wednesday. Today we're doing Module 6, Lesson 2. Our objective is I can solve compare with bigger or smaller unknown problem types. What was the story that went with this tape diagram in the last lesson? So think back to yesterday's video, and what was the story that went with this lesson? The story was that Rose and Nikhil both wrote letters. Rose wrote 8 letters and Nikhil wrote 12 letters. And we were answering the question, how many more letters did Nikhil write than Rose? We also answered how many fewer letters Rose wrote than Nikhil. And we also figured out how many letters Nikhil and Rose wrote in all. So I'm showing my double tape diagram with my number sentence and my word statement that answers the question. So I have a new problem for you. Rose wrote 8 letters. Nikhil wrote 4 more letters than Rose. How many letters did Nikhil write? If Rose wrote 8 letters and Nikhil wrote 4 more letters than Rose, how many letters did Nikhil write? 12 letters. And how do we know? We know because you have to add Rose's 8 letters and then 4 more. You can look at the tape diagram on the chart, and Nikhil has the same 8 letters as Rose plus 4 more letters. So in the last slide, I showed you what ours looked like yesterday. Today, for this problem, it switched a little bit. We actually knew how many more Nikhil wrote, and we didn't know how many in all. So now our new number sentence is 8 plus 4 equals 12. And last time we subtracted to find the difference, and that was 12 minus 8 equals 4. So just like we did back in Module 4, we're finding different ways to solve similar problems. So we need to figure out if we're using subtraction or if we're using addition. Let's try another one. This one says, Ben solved 6 math problems. Robin solved 4 more problems than Ben. How many problems did Robin solve? We're going to draw a tape diagram to show what we know in this problem. So first, who is this story about? Ben and Robin. We know that Ben and Robin each solved math problems. So I drew 2 tapes next to, one next to the B for Ben and one next to the R for Robin. What do you notice about these 2 tapes? They're the same size. The same size tape means they solved the same amount of problems. But is this true? No. Who solved more problems? Robin. So I'm going to add an extra part of tape next to Robin's to show that she solved more problems than Ben. How many more problems did Robin solve? Good, she solved 4 more problems. Let's go back to our story and we're going to read the first sentence, the one that I put in bold. It says, Ben solved 6 math problems. What information can I add to my double tape diagram? Good, we can write 6 in Ben's tape. Where else can I write in the 6? We can write the 6 in the first part of Robin's tape. It's the same size as Ben's tape, so it makes sense to put 6 there too. And it says that in the story that Robin solved 4 more than Ben, so it has to show 4 more than 6, since 6 stands for how many problems Ben solved. So does our double tape diagram match the story problem? Yeah, but we're missing one part. How many problems did Robin solve? Do we know that? We're trying to find out how many problems Robin solved. So I drew my arms to go from one end of her tape diagram to the other end, and I put a question mark because we don't know how many problems she solved yet. I'm going to go through and I'm going to read each part of the story again, and I want you to point to the part of the double tape diagram on the board that corresponds to what I'm saying. Ben solved 6 math problems. Good, and I'm pointing to the 6. Robin solved 4 more problems than Ben. Good, so now I'm pointing at that 4. How many problems did Robin solve? Good, so we have every part to her story on our double tape diagram. I want you to write down a number sentence that helped you find how many problems Robin solved. So using your double tape diagram, I want you to write a number sentence that helped you find how many problems Robin solved. Good, 6 plus 4 equals 10. How many problems did Robin solve? Robin solved 10 problems, and I put where my question mark is that it equals 10. I boxed my number 10 in the number sentence to show that's what I was finding, and I have my word statement saying Robin solved 10 problems. We're gonna do another one. Tamara found 12 ladybugs. Willie found 4 fewer ladybugs than Tamara. How many ladybugs did Willie find? Who are the children in this story problem? Tamara and Willie are the children in this story problem. So I put a T and a W, and I put 2 rectangles or 2 tapes of equal size next to their initial. Is it true that they found the same number of ladybugs? No. Who found more ladybugs? Read the story carefully again, and then think about who found more ladybugs. Tamara found more ladybugs. It didn't say in the problem that she found more, but it said Willie found 4 fewer ladybugs. So that means Tamara found more if Willie found fewer. I needed to add an extra tape, the more tape, onto Tamara's tape to show that she found more. How many more ladybugs did Tamara find than Willie? Tamara found 4 more ladybugs. Now we're going to read the first sentence of the story again. Tamara found 12 ladybugs. Now look at Tamara's tape. Where do you think the 12 should go? According to Tamara's tape now, did she find 12 ladybugs? No, it looks like she found 16 ladybugs. Is 12 the total amount of ladybugs Tamara found or just a part? The total. So let's fix our double tape diagram to make 12 our total of Tamara's ladybugs. Now does this show that Tamara found a total of 12 ladybugs? Yes. Now we're going to read the next sentence that I put in bold. Willie found 4 fewer ladybugs than Tamara. Did we show that in our double tape diagram? Yeah. Now we're going to read the last part of our story problem. How many ladybugs did Willie find? Look at Willie's tape. What do you notice about the size of the tape? It's the same size as the first part of Tamara's tape. So if we find out what the missing part for Tamara's tape is, then we're also finding out Willie's tape. So I put a question mark in both of these because they're equal size, which means it's going to be the same number, and I need to find what goes in there. So how can we find this missing part of Tamara's tape? We can use what we know in Tamara's tape diagram. We know one part is 4, plus another part we don't know, so boxed, equals 12. Or we could think and look at Tamara's and see that 12 is the total. We start with 12. We take away 4 because it's one of the parts to equal our answer, unknown, the question mark. I found out, using those number sentences, that the missing part is 8. If this part is 8, then what else is 8? I found Tamara's is 8, but what else is 8? Willie's tape is 8. So how many ladybugs did Willie find? Willie found 8 ladybugs. Now it's time for your problem set. We need to read the problem, draw a tape diagram or double tape diagram and label. And last, write a number sentence and a statement that matches the story. Next to those directions, you have an example of a double tape diagram. That's not your answer to any of these. It's just an example. I'm going to read all 3, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes to get as much done as you can. The first one says, Nikhil baked 5 pies for the contest. Peter baked 3 more pies than Nikhil. How many pies did Peter bake for the contest? Number 2. Emmy planted 12 flowers. Rose planted 3 fewer flowers than Emmy. How many flowers did Rose plant? Number 3. Ben scored 15 goals in the soccer game. Anton scored 11 goals. How many more goals did Ben score than Anton? I'm putting on some music and your timer is starting. You have 5 minutes. Your timer has gone off. Good job and nice work today, scholars. I really encourage you to have someone at home take a picture of this work, these 3 problems, and send it to me over text or email, whatever is easier. You will earn a grower team point for sending me the work you're doing at home. Starting after spring break, we're going to be asking that you send your work every day because it's going to count. So that means we're going to have a tracker to see if you're missing assignments or if you're sending them in. So practice now by sending them in and get those grower team points. I miss you guys, and then I'll post a video tomorrow for our last lesson of the week.